Okie dokie, let's see now. All right. So Lightstream Studio says I'm going out. Let's see. Twitch is going out. Aha. And YouTube is going out. All right. Cool. Right, I'm just going to go back to the Lightstream Studio. So for whatever reason, at the moment, I cannot see my YouTube comments here from Lightstream. Okay. That's weak. That's weak. But oh well. Anyways, quick overview on Firebirds. Gear, season 38, got Wizard Spike. There's also a staff and a short wand you could use that is one of these ethereal memories. There's blue. The one I have has explosive blast on it. So in my skills in my cube, I have Death Wish in the cube. Normally you would wear Death Wish and you would have explosive blast in the cube in your first slot. Boom. Orb of infinite depth, right? Well, yeah, this is a skill it works on, but it's been a minute since I've done this. You're just going to have to bear with me, please. Right, so you get 10% increased damage per hit, stacks 4 times, right? And your armor or damage reduction, actually, not just armor, but damage reduction, which is far better than armor, goes up by 20% for 6 seconds 4 times. So it's 80% damage reduction and 40% damage from your explosive blast. Your explosive blast is going to have chain reaction on it. So every time you light it off, it goes off 3 times, right? And then that'll stack. You'll see over there on the A button, it'll get a little 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4, the stack on it. On your right trigger, you're going to have Disintegrate Ray, Chaos Nexus. On X, you're going to have your Energy Twisters, Gale Force. Right? Sorry, I really am. For a seriously grumpy bastard, I'm also actually really fucking silly. On Y, you're going to have Magic Weapon, Conduit. Enemies hit by your attacks restore up to 3 arcane. Right? And that's a hit it and forget it. Like once you hit it, you just got that little gold circle on it. It's on and it stays on until you die or you come to the end of a rift. Right? So if you run a greater rift, when the greater rift is done and it closes, all your skills shut down, all your shrine effects shut down, right? So start from scratch. B is teleport, right?
Not ready yet.
RB is diamond shield. Right now to run this, when you're in a rift, you're just going to hold A down. So every time the cooldown is done, it fires off again, right? You're going to hold your RT down and your diamond skin. So every time, now watch, when diamond skin, the cooldown is done over there on IB, it will automatically go off again. So just hold A, right trigger, and RB. Now you can see I'm slowly going through Arcane over there. And this is not my push build. This is like my farm build, right? So you have your armory over here, and you'll have your push build, your farm build, which I call cash, and your lower rift, right? Because once you get to a certain amount of power, you don't need your full blown push build to run lower rifts. Like twice, I've got that. I've got Paragon. I'll give you a quick, like, actually, this is my lower build. This is for lower GRs. And I've got enough good pieces of gear and augments that, the 625 Chaldean's despair rank there, or 625 intelligence from a rank 125, that I can run a 120 in 2 or 3 minutes to farm, just basically for farming mats to get legendaries that I can salvage so I can get Forgotten Souls, right? And the way this works, the way it works, the way you keep it going, the way you keep resource, right? First thing on your Firebird's Eye, you need crit hits grant for arcane power. Like later game, it's not as necessary because you get in your Altar of Rights, you get right here, I believe, crits grant 3 arcane power, or 15 mana. Crit hits grant 15 mana. 5 essence, hatred, spirit, wrath, right? And 3 arcane power or fury. So it's a little bit under 4, but still, I like to keep it on there. So when I'm in and I'm hitting guys, if I'm hitting a single target, I don't run out of arcane, right? I just don't. So that's important, right? So then now, because crit hits grant arcane, you want to make sure you have crit hit chance. See, it's like the 4th one down there on your bracers. You want to make sure you have crit hit chance on your Firebird's Eye. So it's going to come with fire skill. It's going to come with intelligence generally. The toss up of what you get is going to be your crit hit chance and your 4 arcane, right? And then if you're lucky, you can get area damage as well, right? Hopefully you can get one that comes with crit hit chance, grants 4 arcane, or area damage, right? One of those or 2 of those 3, so you can roll on the 3rd one you need, right? And this one's all right. It's good. It's primal. I'm getting a lot of intelligence out of it. Crit and arcane. I'd like to have area damage on it, but I don't. I just haven't taken the time to make one that has yet. Right. All right. And then your Squirt's necklace. You're going to want fire damage, crit on it, right? Fire damage, crit. Because you need that crit chance to generate mana, to generate arcane. And then, of course, your crit hit damage on your helmet. You're going to want to roll crit hit chance again. This thing really runs on crit hit chance, right? You need lots of crit hit chance in it. And then this normally you have your Firebird's breast here, not the plume, the tarsi. No, the whatever the breast is called. Anyways, but I have Cinder Coat. Like I said, this is my farm / lower, right? Now this has got 20% fire skill, so that gives me like fire skill damage is huge. You want like 60 in the build if you can get it. So I put this on to get extra fire skill damage and up to 30% reduced fire skill cost. It goes up to 30 specifically. And this is like pretty much just for farming, right? To give me resource reduction and extra fire skill. And then I've got the Firebirds pinions on, right? So normally this isn't Wrestler's Folly either. I'll show you the alternate build, but just go over what you're supposed to have, right? And then you should have cooldown and resource reduction and area damage on your shoulders. The reason you want the cooldown and the resource reduction, you need it in the build, is because you're running the captain set, right? Either like two of these three pieces down here are going to be your captain set. I usually run the boots and the belt because Firebirds downs automatically come with two sockets, so I don't have to roll for goddamn sockets, right? I find it annoying. I know you can get a little more out of the build if this were your pants, your captain's pants, but I'm lazy. Now, your captain's build, your captain set, your two-piece set is 6,000 life per second, reduces cooldowns of all skills by 20%, reduces all resource costs by 20%. It's huge. It's huge. On any build where you're channeling, which Disintegrate Ray is a channeling skill, you want these. You're gonna need these in the build. You're just gonna need them and you're gonna want them. The three-piece set bonus that you get because you have your Ring of Grandeur in the cube, right? So you can have one less set item and still get your full bonuses, right? So your your three-piece on that damage dealt is increased by your percentage of cooldown reduction. Damage taken is reduced by your percentage of cost reduction, right? So you're increasing your damage and you're increasing your damage reduction by the percentage of cooldown and resource reduction in your build. So you need it. You need the cooldown and the resource reduction on your pinions, right? And then here on your gloves, you could add more here if you want, but yeah, it's a little confusing with the extra numbers. But you want, again, crit hit chance, crit damage, like you get 10 crit chance, 50% crit damage, and then you want area damage. Again, because you're on this, your tornadoes are area damage, right? And it's a, and so right, you gain 5,000% increased damage while ignite is applied to a target, hitting an ignited target with a non-channeling fire spell, which is your tornadoes, right, or your explosive blast ignites your combustion stacks, right, and it's your damage is determined by the amount of combustion stacks you have, and they stack up to 50. You can see that on your 4-set bonus, right? And this gives you unlimited teleport because it's cooldown on your teleport, right? And again here, Disintegrate causes 3,000 weapon damage over time, right? It's 3,000 damage per second over time until they die. And it has a cheat death on it. But you want that when that pops, when your 5,000% damage gets triggered by your tornadoes, you want that damage to pop, right? You want it to become area damage. You want the damage of your explosive blast also. That's area damage. And you're up in the monster's faces. You're up in the monster and the boss's faces, hitting them with that explosive blast. You need the area damage, right? That's why you need that area damage. Again, the reason I run with Wizard Spike is because it comes with crit hit chance, I believe is what's on this. That's why I want it. Attack speed, arcane power per second. Oh, no, the consecutive hits do up to 100% more damage. Why is it that I run with this one instead of the other ones? The attack speed. I don't know. Like, it's been a few days since I played. Looked at this as well. Cool down. think it's just 100% damage, right? Consecutive hits, and you're hitting them all the time. You got your channeling skill, your tornadoes, and your explosive blast, right? So I think that's why I go with it. But either way, that's a personal choice too as to which of the three you want to use, as far as I'm concerned. There's one that comes with a bunch of extra uh, fire damage, but I believe that one is a staff, so you wouldn't be able to wear your Firebird's eye. And right, normally when you're pushing, I'll roll over to the push build. Normally when you're pushing, you're going to want a guild's. For me, this is what I run: a guild's power and a guild search. You can run. Oh, whoops. Here we go. You can run this. You can run the Guardian's Gaze on the belt and the wrists or helm and whatever, right? Wherever you want to put them. I think people usually use the wrist and the belt to get 1,000% of your base vitality and 1,000% of your base intelligence on each piece. I'm not 100% as to whether or not that includes your Chaldean's despair rank, right? Your augment. Like I've heard back and forth that it does and it doesn't. I don't know for sure. I don't really care because I also know that yeah, it's good early game. It's good early game. Gives you big boost. But by the time you hit like 2,000, 2,500 Paragon, if you're grind a lot and you're pushing, you're going to outpace whatever damage you get out of the Guardians set with your Paragon. Your Paragon is just going to outpace it. You'll get more out of having your Paragon than the case, and then you're going to want to roll over to your guild power and a guild search anyways. And again, I'm kind of lazy, so I just run with them from the start, right? Because it gives me a lot of, right, 30% damage reduction from elites and damage to elites, right? It just right off the bat, right? So I don't have to worry about if I have low Paragon or if I don't have a lot of intelligence on my gear. Like just right off the bat, it gives me that damage and damage reduction. So I go with it because again, I'm lazy. I'm lazy to some extent. Apparently not that lazy because I got, some decent gear, but that's just how it goes. Now, let me see. And again, as you can see, crit dam, fire damage, right? This should have intelligence on it. It's ancient, but it didn't. So I'm just like, nah, good enough for now. And I just added intelligence with my augment, right? Oh, did I get around? On this, whatever you if you want, like vitality and resist all, I think are better than say vitality and armor or life in armor. It's kind of a toss up, but and then like if I wanted, I could go down there and roll the electrocute damage for some other form of damage, like explosive blast or something like that. I just haven't. Because again, kind of lazy. You generally, right, unless the intelligence on your item is super, super low, you don't want to roll intelligence, right? You want to roll something else that's going to give you damage. And just wait till you get a piece with higher intelligence on it. Like, see that one, it could be 650 intelligence. So it's barely 600. And I rolled area damage. I wanted the area damage more. And then I added intelligence with the Chaldeans. So although this is an ancient piece, it's not really the best, right? Yes, like give and take. And this is actually a pretty good convention of elements, right? Because it came natural with area damage. Now, a lot of people you'll see on their builds, that they have crit, intelligence, and then they add more intelligence, that's fine. That's fine to do. But I want the area damage. Now, this used to be an issue with the older consoles because all the area damage would cause the console to lag, right? They just weren't powerful enough, and the servers weren't powerful enough to have all that area damage and not lag you out and the other people in your party. It was just too much for it. But with the newer consoles, better internet, better servers, not quite such a big deal. So again, you want the area damage. Crit area damage. On your, I haven't got an ancient one here yet, but your obsidian ring. Now you could on this, you could put your ring of royal grandeur here and put your obsidian ring in the cube, but I generally don't, and that's because the obsidian ring comes naturally. It comes, every one comes with cooldown reduction and resource cost reduction that plays into your captain set, right? So you're getting damage and damage reduction out of it, 8% of each, right? Roughly. And then every obsidian ring, then not a single one of them comes with a socket. So, but they do come with crit hit chance and attack speed. And you roll the attack speed off for your socket. I know, God, this is supposed to be quick, and I'm all fucking nerding out here. Your convention of elements always comes with a socket. So as long as it has one of the crits, you can roll something off for the other crit, right? And if you can get one that comes with one of the crits and area damage, or both of the crits, then you can roll for area damage. It's much easier to get a really good one of these ancient, right? Because it always comes with a socket. You don't have to worry about it coming with a socket, unlike your Scorched necklace, right? It has to Scorched necklace, out of all the stuff it comes with, 3 things need to be on it to start with, right? Out of 4, right? You need fire damage, you need crit hit, crit chance, crit hit, and a socket. Like fire damage, you need your 2 crits, your fire skill, and a socket. So it needs to come with at least 3 of those so you can roll something on the necklace off for your socket, or the whatever it is, the 4th item you need. Right? It's kind of hard to get a good squirts. All right, and real quick, I will which build that's push, like just for, and I'll just grab this one just so I will have a little bit more. Screw it. I'll, if you haven't got around to, and on your farm build, you're going to want to take your Bane of the Stricken out and put a Boon of the Hoarder in to get the extra gold, so you can farm gold. Just just saying. And your legendary gems, you want Bane of the Stricken, right? 25% increased damage against bosses at rank 25, right? Each attack you make against an enemy increases the damage it takes by 2%. That's at rank 131, by the way, right? So that gets, of course, you get more damage the higher the rank of the Bane, but it stays at a static 25 against bosses and Rift Guardians. In early game, you can just run with the Bane of the Powerful. It's pretty good for you until you get into the hundreds, right? Till GR 100, 110 or so. Depending how good the build is, you can run with it till like 120 if necessary. But I usually get the Stricken early and get building it. Also, the per attack is on a cooldown, right? Each attack you make against an enemy increases the damage it takes from your attacks. That's on a cooldown, right? And depending on if you hit them with your explosive blast or your tornado first, that cooldown is going to be shorter than if you hit them with your channeling skill, right? Disintegrate Ray is a channeling skill, so the cooldown on your Bane of the Stricken is a little bit longer, right? So that is that. Your Bane of the Trapped, right? So this auto applies a CC effect within 15 yards, which is 15 yards is big enough because your explosive blast, you're going to be up in their face anyways. You want it hitting them, right? And that auto applied CC effect, right, grants 50%, 54 at rank 31 damage, 54% damage. It's a pretty big damage booster. And then your other legendary gem you're going to want is Taeguk, right? Gain 7% increased damage for 1.5 seconds when you spend resource on a channeling skill. This effect stacks up to 10 times. So it's 70% increased damage at rank 131, right? And then it also gives you 20% increased armor for every stack. So it's 2%, excuse me, 2%. So it's 20% armor overall, right? And then on the obsidian ring, every attack you make gives you a second cooldown on your skills, right? So that just helps you. Like my cooldown on this is pretty solid already, but it helps with the cooldown on your diamond skin, right? Because you see it's a little bit longer than it lasts, and you want that diamond skin up 100%, right? You just want it up because it gives you you get resource reduction out of it and a bunch of damage reduction, right? So, I went with the regular one, and I'll just do a quick 120 here to show you. Once you get in, the first thing you're going to want to do, right, hit the B button, close that out. Hit your Y button, get your magic blade going. Then, whoops, standing too close to the fucking thing. Move out away from it. Then you're going to right trigger, right bumper, A, right? As soon as you see your disintegrate stacks over there, the little red skeleton are up to 50, and your Taeguk is at 10, you can start teleporting. You have unlimited teleport, and as you can see, right, as long as I'm hitting guys, I'm getting crit hits, my arcane does not move. It just doesn't move, right? And then, of course, like with my altar, the olives, right, you get your potions open, you pop a potion immediately. That just gave me a shrine effect that's going to last pretty much the whole thing, right? Now, I'm just moving around here to kind of show you. So then you come in, you get those going, you get A, now you've got a group of guys, and then you start hitting them with your fire tornadoes, right? Pull off the fire tornadoes a little, and then teleport to your next group, and then lay in with your fire tornadoes, right? And then you move on. It's that high crit chance. And you can see when I'm not hitting anyone, my arcane dips. Oops. Okay. And every time your cooldown on your potion is done, pop another potion. Get another effect going, right? Get in the habit of that. So when you're pushing, when you get into higher GRs, you're in the habit of looking over there, seeing if it's ready. And even now, I'm just laying on all buttons, just holding all 4 of those buttons down and rolling over and tapping my teleport. Right, and the moment we get these guys, it'll hit. See, I start hitting them with the tornadoes, start hitting them, da-da-da. My arcane goes right back up. Right. Now on higher levels, now on higher levels, when you're soloing these and you get a boss, and they're a little bit tough, like here, I'll pop this, right? You want to point your beam into the corner and your tornadoes. Like if you can get them over here in the corner against the wall, so your tornadoes are bouncing off that wall, you will smack the crap out of them, right? You will get all those crits, you will get all your all your arcane, they'll be taking a ton of extra damage, right? Oh, I'm out because I haven't been keeping myself moving. But since this build, you need groups, you need to be hitting mobs the whole time, you need to be hitting monsters, you need to keep moving, right? Just keep moving. Get right on this guy, let the explosive blast smack him. See, boom, done. I hate these spaghetti maps. Oh, here we go. Get the hell out of here. All right, so nice groups of monsters because your tornadoes hit every dude. You got them bouncing around. You get lots of crits. You get lots of arcane from them crits. Oop, power. Right, just move right on through your rift. Oh, come on. I hate that. Well, I'm pretty close. I'm going to move past because you got this pit over here. You don't want to kill the boss there, right? You don't want to get the boss there because it sucks. Because after you kill them, the guys keep coming out, and it's a pain in the ass to level your jams. Again, I'm just talking. I'm not really hauling ass through this. It's just kind of demonstrating how it works. Get my circle there. Right. Your shit up. I'm just gonna rank up, right? Because this is I'm not gonna be able to rank up my mage ends because they're 131. I would need to run like a 140 to even have a chance at it. So like this is how you get all your lower gems ranked up, by the way. Is when you get where you can run 90s or 100s, 120s in 2 to 5 minutes, right? If you're XP grinding, you want to be able to run. I didn't even look how fast I ran that. Jesus Christ. But if you're XP running, if you're running for XP, you want whatever rift you can run in 2 minutes, right? Tops 5, 2 to 5 minutes, and you run 3 or 4 of them back to back to back, bang bang bang. Don't fuck around. Just jump right in your next rift. Run 3 or 4 of them. If you can hold that many blood shards, right? Run 4. Otherwise, run 3 back to back, and then you come out and you identify and you clear out and you do all that. Then you jump right back in, right? And that is how you're going to get your XP. So again, your push build is going to be whatever your ethereal memory is with either, and you're going to want the legendary affix for either Death Wish, right? You're going to want Death Wish or Orb of Infinite Death. You want one of those two to be the skill on your ethereal. Firebirds gloves, the guild's shoulders, Firebird's breast. Oh, it is called the breast. Chicken breast. Anyways, your Firebird's plume, Squirt's necklace, the guild search, Firebird's eye, convention of elements, obsidian ring of the zodiac, captain's crimson waiters, Firebird's down, and captain's crimson silk girdle. Right? You want a lot of crit hit, a lot of crit chance, a lot of area damage, cooldown reduction, and resource reduction, right? That's what you're shooting for. And obviously, you want intelligence. You want intelligence on every piece, right? You want it to come with freaking intelligence, right? Um, and your Paragon board, after you get your 50 points and everything, I usually drop an extra 50 in vitality just because early game it's nice. Later game you can take it back out. And then everything else goes in your intelligence, right? Oh, why did I do that? That was silly. That was silly. Some people don't even put any in vitality. They just put it all in intelligence, right? Because intelligence also grants resist all. Keep that extra 50.
That is too expensive.
Because when you put on your farm gear, like you are giving you're giving up some stuff, right? It's a little easier to get killed without your guilds on. So, and again, like I got that one augmented, don't have that one augmented. Let's see, let's get this lore. And I'll run another 120 here. Let's get rid of all this stuff. I usually gamble for gloves or shoulders, right? Because it's a good way to get a good pair of gloves to drop or a good pair of shoulders to drop, right? Like I still don't have an ancient pair. I might have in there. I just haven't looked. I might not have. Right? And again, these are all, they're just forgotten souls. Right? You gamble. And another reason I don't gamble for gloves is they're only 25, and it's a good way to build up veiled crystal. But anyways, so now then this is just my lower where I have the pinion here, and I have the Wrestler's Folly, because that's going to help me group guys together. Now when I go through, watch, like, yeah, you can see I didn't have. Take a little bit more damage. You see my damage drop there. But as I get moving through this, you can see how it groups the guys together, it drops them all together. So they're all getting hit by the tornadoes at the same time, right? And it's just a good way, because now I can just hold all the buttons down, all 4 of those buttons. Tornado. Well, whoop, this is long stretch, not here. Everywhere I'm in here, I'm doing it. Right, and then it just groups everyone together, brings them right into me for that explosive blast. That's why you put this build together for running your regular Nephilim risks and running bounties and whatnot. It's because it groups the guys together, brings them to you, so they get smacked by that area damage, by that explosive blast. Right? Just see, you just pop your way through. Now the push build still does, obviously, way more damage. Right? This is just kind of for speed clearing it. Yeah, no 150 yet. I'm running 150 since I'm not that worried about it. Like, I've been in run 50s, I've run 150s. Anymore, I play the game to put a build together, because that's the fun part. Right? That's the fun part. Getting everything together, finding good gear. All right, that's the fun part for me. I know I'm weird. Strange. Kind of strange. But yeah, I think I've gotten a 140 on this, and it was a pretty good time, so I could probably, get if it was a good GR, I'd probably get a 149. Oh, I forgot to get my potions at a regular pace. I don't really play with a lot of people a lot, so it takes me a little bit longer. Whoops. To build up enough Paragon to run a 150. But I'll run, like I'm bad, I'm horrible. I'll get on and I'll run a few rifts and clear out a couple times and then get distracted by some video on YouTube or doing stuff around the house. And I'll be signed in, I'll be in the game like for hours and I'll just be standing in fucking down. Right? 2 minutes and 27 seconds for a 120. Right? So that's an XP grinder. Do those back to back to back, build your XP. The reason I'm dropping this video is in the Facebook group I follow for Diablo, somebody was asking questions. They were playing the Tal Rasha's build, which I'm not very good at. I suck at that Tal Rasha's build. And Firebirds is just a better build. It just kind of is. Right? I can see getting bored of it, right? Which makes the beginning of the season when you first get your Hegdrig's gift, right? Which I've already claimed. It's every 4th or 5th season is Firebird, something like that now. So, it gives you a reason to learn the other builds and how to build them, and so that's fun. But yeah, Firebirds is my jam. Once I got it figured out how to keep your resource up and kill stuff and move pretty quickly through GRs and whatnot, it just became my main build. It just became the main build. And if we look at, like, even right now, for the people still playing this game that do leaderboards, let's see, I've got Telrash's, they've got a 150 as well. Typhons, no set, 150, yep. Overall, it's the Firebirds. Now, see, they're running, like I said, they're running with that staff, so they can't have their Firebird's eye. And they're running with pinions instead. Rattler's Folly to group everything together. And again, instead, they still have the captains, right? Captains is very important to the build. Ring of the Zodiac convo with cooldown reduction. Yeah, you need it in the build, but it's also an area damage build. You gotta have some area damage in the build somewhere for your explosive blast, right? You just need it. You need to have it. That's why I try and get it on here and here, and if possible on the convo, right? Because you need it. Like I said, in the past, because the nature of the console, you'd lag really bad if you had a bunch of area damage in the build, so people didn't, and they would run intelligence instead of cooldown, right? Or area damage. Yeah, so and they get the reason they're doing this too is the 20% fire skill damage. That's huge. It's huge. It is huge. That's something else you need in the build is your fire skill damage. Right, let's see if anyone's, here we go. Oh, he's got the what? Oh, okay, this is basically an LOD build, yeah. So you don't have any set bonuses. So he's got one piece in here, but he's not getting a set bonus from it. Right? Got this one piece of Blackthorns because you can get percentage arcane skill. or fire skill or whatever on your blackthorns. Used to be you would get a pair of pants that was from the witch doctor that came with that skill damage that you'd wear here, not Death Diggers. Can't remember what the pants were, but area damage. Yeah, I think this is the craftable. Like there's a craftable primal convo that comes natural with the area damage this season. And I believe this looks like the craftable squirts as well. Stone gauntlets. Meteor, explosive blast, Archon. Yeah, this is the old school LOD build. Like before Firebirds, well, they had Firebirds, but it wasn't very good. Everybody ran this LOD wizard. I don't think this is the exact build, but it's pretty close. It looks pretty close. I think you actually used. Yeah, this is an LOD meteor build. The old school one was an LOD Fire Twister Archon build, I think, or something like that. That was a long time ago. That was like 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that. So I don't even really remember anymore. Okay, so this is running on way longer. I'm at 46 minutes than I had intended. I just wanted to make this for a person in my Facebook book group. Uh, Maybe I'll jump on and stream again later if I have the time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Alex, I hope everyone has a good day. Peace out. Oh, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments on YouTube, I guess, because this should be on YouTube as well. I use stream light stream now because I can stream to both places at the same time, even though I can't see the comments over there, which I don't have any. It doesn't appear I have any anyways. But have a good day. Leave any questions in the comments on YouTube. I'll try and answer them, or I will do another video. Peace out.